Alright, folks, we are finally back. It has been a hot minute, holidays and all that jazz, but we are back in action with what is sure to prove
That escalated quickly.
a bit of a doozy. Hi, Yomo, and hi, Orbit. It has been centuries since Legendary Top. It has been 3 days, but we are here with Growing My Grandpa. I don't know what I'm getting into with this. Luke, you all know him as Verendus, recommended this to me. He said it creeped him out, and it's hard to creep him out, but he also gets creeped out by weird shit. So, let's see what happens. Hi, Lotus! We're just gonna hop right into it. Yeah, we should probably do a tutorial. Tutorial is probably a good idea. This game is designed to be played with the mouse. The input required of you is based around clicking the mouse buttons. The right mouse button will change the cursor's image and function. Only when pointing, indicated by the extended index finger, can you the player, and interact with certain menu buttons and prompts. Please click below in pointing mode to continue. Hi, Bonnie! I am not skipping the tutorial, Yomo. No. Okay. So that's pretty much it. It's just using that. Easy enough. In order to expedite the cleaning process, you can use digits 1, 2, and 3 on your keyboard. Oh. Okay. A variety of... Okay, I already messed with those. There's F5 will, like, change.
I have arrived.
Hi, Caesar. I am left-handed. Okay, let's... What happens if we press... Yeah, we'll keep the shaders on. Why not? Let's make things look wild. Okay, cool. This ends the tutorial. See, that was an easy enough tutorial. That took us all of 2 minutes. Week 1. I excused Adrienne during music class today and spoke with her about her recent string of demerits. It was our first time meeting outside of her quarterly evaluations, and I believe it went well. I can certainly understand Mrs. Richardson's classroom observations concerning Adrienne's emotional state. Is it bad, Yobo? I don't know what I'm getting into! She was, of course, and all I know is apparently there's some Cronenberg shit. That's like the one word that I saw. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities and only speaks or acts when she absolutely must. Some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept that she will receive a demerit. Before the meeting, I read Mrs. Richardson's parent-teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some about Adrienne's home life. Okay, so you know what I'm into. You know I like creepy shit. This game. Oh God, I am horrified. The parents are well educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrienne. She is often alone, and when she is not, the parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmation when dealing with someone so young. Having two parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition in a child. The child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly. Oh God dang it, Philip! For it eventually finds its way into regular life. I surmise that I would be able to reach out to Adrienne by way of make-believe. How are you liking your new house? You told me you used to live close by, but it still could be a big adjustment. A new room, a new school. The basement. I like that. The basement? Yeah, well, there's a lot of cool stuff. Mom and Dad sent me down there. Your mom and dad made you go? Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. Well, that's not why they sent me down there, though. Why did they send you down there? Fighting. They were fighting, shouting. I came in to help, and they shouted at me. They said, go clean up downstairs. So I went. That sounds tough. Do they fight a lot? No. Well, It's alright, Adrian. Maybe you can tell me more about the basement instead. Okay, well, it was weird at first, the stuff down there, but cool. I found something living, sort of. That's very interesting, Adrian. Please, tell me more. Adrian? Yeah. By indulging her in her fantasies and stories, I was able to glean a bit more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home and parents. The symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come of our next meeting, whether she will engage in similar make-believe, I will set down her story here. Adrian's story begins with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle and the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Alright. Upon removing the plastic trash bags from the wall, she noticed their interior lining was covered in glass. Like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror. Reflecting inward towards the animal they covered. I gently asked her what exactly this animal was. Here is where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitity, fantastic, and imagery. Dear God, imaginary. I cannot read to save my life. Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew, or extended, its shaggy-haired self. Hair like the fur of a dog, I offered. No, she said. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair on her head. It grew out towards her, the animal's hair, reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle, I offered. Yes, she said. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. I asked her what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said. Things of her grandpa's as well. First, she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked, faceless figures. I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded. In order to keep the game of make-believe going, I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. The faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity she feels in her own home. The hidden passage, I am unsure of what to make of that. The revealing of the concealed seems to be thematic in her fantasy. The door under the stairs is but one example. Alright, so I can't grab it. The darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some form of light. Thank you. I don't like the dark anyway. Trash pile. Oh.
How's it going, dude? Staying away from the alcohol?
Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, a photo of her late grandpa, and magic glue. A slouching doll. Its material is rough and coarse. I don't like that at all. Eurasian steep shamanism and fusiform gyrus, an interdisciplinary study in sympathetic magic. Sure, we'll read some more. The impetus of this research was the recognition of a particular pattern in fragments of documents relating to magic and magico-religious practices. Fuck, I'm staying as long as I can, but this is so creepy remembering all this stuff. Numerous sources were drawn from commentaries on laws relating to the banning of sorcery and necromancy, compilations of folk charms relating to love spells, hagiographs of saints and their encounters with devils. The list spans many centuries and a great distance, from the Levant to the Khazar. I am terrible with names. To the border of modern nation-states of Russia and Kazakhstan today. From this paper trail arose a consistent account about a certain form of magic relating to the binding of demons to a sorcerer's will. A demon called the Heaven of Needles, or the Angel of Needles, was known to be kept best by shamanic keepers or wards who suffered from face blindness, whether by birth or through developmental causes like a stroke or head injury. It was known to be extremely effective, but terribly dangerous, so much so that it became outlawed several times and was generally a popular scapegoat relating to unexpected death. Oh wait, yeah, I did that one. Wait, did it go? Oops, okay, no, it's okay. This nexus of magico-religious meaning making, sorcery regarding human-related desires, and the history and science of neurological disorders related to the fusiform gyrus is where the subject of this dissertation will reside. I will outline further and then analyze historical sources I mentioned previously. Then I will go into the neurology of mystic and magico-religious experiences. After that, I will detail my ongoing correspondence with the residents of the Ural Mountain region, who is an expert folklorist and keeper of traditions. He claims have been passed down through his extended family for generations. Okay, so we're gonna deal with some bad shit, but you know what? I'm here for it. Just get all the rest of this trash cleaned up real quick. Space will not be dirty until next week. Photo of your late grandpa. Okay. On the reverse side of this photograph, there's more tests. Good luck. More text. Good luck on your trip to the Urals. Stay warm. And the glue. All-purpose glue. Magical glue. I interrupted to ask what she did with these magical, mysterious materials. Grow Grandpa, she said. She explained plainly, and then without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately. She explained slowly. Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room. The cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. Oh, Fluke, what the fuck am I playing? The sample's exposure to some of the neuronal, dear God, activity is unavoidable. However, the speed at which its serious yield is produced can be dampened by several precautions Luke did regarding libidinal and emotional urges. Keep conversation not related to lab work to a minimum. If you begin to suspect you are developing attachments to your colleagues, contact me as soon as possible. I skipped a lot. Hold on. For the sake of the university policy and the health of any future career you hope to have, you will abide by the non-disclosure contract you have signed. Do not break the anthropotic vacuum without my prior consultation and approval. Any anthropoidic forms brought into the enclosure area must not be left unattended. When not in dormancy, the sample will attempt to take anthropoid shells. Please see shell notes for more on that. Ritual behavior with the sample, trading, bargaining, will result in dismissal from the project. The precise mechanism of the exchange of symbols and gifts required for a requested desirous yield is not known, and even then, anecdotal accounts of success end in violent death. Dear God, that is a whole lot of shit. Regarding growth cycles, every time Whiskers regenerates and leaves dormancy, it is to be logged as a new propagation. The sample's bodily existence cannot be ineligible, i.e., a part cannot be cut from the whole, so there can only be one living propagation. Propagations are to be terminated after 5 weeks. Any further development puts us at risk. Termination procedures will be posted and followed with extreme care. With all of that out of the way, I want to welcome you to the project. I look forward to working with you, Dr. Hart. A hastily written note. I've repeatedly called your homes to no avail, and so I am forced to leave this here for you all. I found William sitting in the corner of the enclosure area, seeming severely concussed. Whiskers was gone, and none of its usual hiding places. I immediately suspected the worst. The project thus must be suspended for now. I'm leaving up the usual mirrored coverings we use to keep the anthropoidic void sealed. I have done my best to lock up everything on such short notice. It is a hasty fix, but it will require some time to find more permanent remedy. I am honestly hoping you do not find this note, as I intend to lock the house down too. I intend to race off to you to retrieve your lockbox keys. Do not worry about William's key. It and the rest of his equipment is almost certainly deep within Whiskers now. I pray you do not enter this room. No matter how it may appear, William cannot be helped, and is only being kept alive as a means of continuing predation on the rest of us. I will say once again, no matter what state you may encounter William in, he cannot be helped. I have sympathy for the young man, I truly do, but I found on his person several photos of his late sister, which imply certain risks he knew he was taking. Our extant research materials have now become possible liabilities, either criminal or professional in nature, so I have stashed them away. I believe I let you all know how I might do this if we were ever to experience an event such as this. I hope you all remember what I told you. So long then, Dr. H. Oops. Okay, we're going in. Beyond the door in the room, the cage was hidden, concealed under the cloak of inward-facing mirrors. A cage lined with mirrors. It is strange, almost poetic. The elaborate fantasy of self-reflection, concealment, captivity. At the cage, she finally cast her spell. But it was confusing, she confided at first. She took the magic doll, the magic glue, and the photo of her grandpa, and she combined them, and she wished very hard. I can only assume in this fantasy that next her wish would come true. In what child's story would it not? Particular human representation, I guess? Why not? Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Glue together. A tangible symbol of intention and desire. She put Grandpa in the cage, assuming that was part of the ritual. She was not clear on how it worked. What precise instructions she could glean from her grandfather's magic book was complicated by her reading comprehension. She wished with all her heart, and then she told me she waited a while for anything to happen. And after that time, she began to cry. I cried really hard, she said.
Wash my hands? Why? Just because I pissed? What, do you think my cock is dirty? You think there's germs on my cock, huh? You literally put it in your mouth.
What the fuck? I wanted Grandpa to be back. I wanted my parents to stop being so mean. And it hurt me. It hurt me wish for Grandpa to come back. For my parents to be different. I thought I could feel it through the walls, and it felt me through the air. I asked her what exactly she meant. She could only repeat what she said.
I'm gonna pray.
By this time,
pray, dude.
lunch was almost over. I said goodbye to
Fucking pray.
Adrian, and she left to rejoin her class. I was left to consider our conversation. I believe the storytelling strategy I've employed was not unfruitful, but I must probe deeper if I can. Although I can be sure of nothing I interpret, the impressions I get may begin to help me get an idea of the right questions to ask. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to certain topics or key words you can discuss with Grandpa. You gained a conversation topic. Wish! I don't want to talk to Grandpa! And shall. Week 2! Give it up for week 2, everybody! I met again with Adrian in order to address her emotional outbursts in the past few weeks. It is our second time meeting, and while it is standard practice to have multiple sessions with a troubled student, as I assemble a report for the counseling department, I could not help but think as we sat down in my office that Adrian already seemed to show a remarkable change in self-esteem and confidence. Excuse me. And perhaps my and Mrs. Richardson's estimation of her as emotionally disturbed was erroneous. The paralyzing shyness and withdrawn attitude Adrian possessed last week was not entirely diminished, but she seemed to hold herself differently this week. However, this only lasted as long as our conversation pertained to initial introductory pleasantries. When I began once again asking about her parents, her feelings regarding her new school, and her new home, she quickly lost what new confidence she had gathered up and withdrew again into herself. So once again, I partook in some collaborative make-believe, but this time I was aided by the fact that I had managed to do some research into Adrian's grandfather, and I had some insight into what she might actually be finding in the basement. Now, this may be overstepping my bounds, some as a school counseling caseworker, but this was all in the service of making Adrian comfortable and happy in this learning environment. In any case, I was able to dig up information regarding the grandfather by inquiring at the university in town. Not that I make it a habit of sleuthing, but I had a suspicion the grandfather was a professor there, or at least some sort of researcher, due to the fact that the newly constructed laboratory on campus I drive by every day bears his name and memorial. Hi, Eureka! He was some sort of anthropologist or linguist or neuroscientist. I did not have to dig deep before the scope of his work became dizzying, and I ran up against the limits of my undergraduate education. But back to the make-believe. What is your grandpa like? Is he a smart man? Not anymore, but I'm teaching him. So he's grown a good deal then. You have been feeding him well? Yeah, he is getting bigger, but he has a lot of room in his cage. He's still behind the bars? Yeah, well, he might be able to climb out eventually. There's this vent in the ceiling. Well, perhaps if he climbs out, I could beat him someday. What the fuck? Yeah, maybe, but he's not ready to leave. He can't take care of himself. I have to feed him, pick up after him. Ah, you store the food in your lunchbox. That's nice of you to share. He can almost talk. You cannot speak with him? He doesn't have a mouth, sort of. But how do you feed him? He has a mouth on the outside, on his shell, or the stuff that is his skin.
I have come.
Oh.
walk through a typical day with your grandpa? Okay. I asked her to explain how exactly she goes about growing her grandpa, and Adrian began another tale. According to Adrian, in the week that had passed, much had changed in the basement. The hairy thing that was here before is gone. That's nice. I don't want to see Grandpa! It was scary at first, she said. The way he moved, the way the dull skin covered him. I wanted to interject. This somehow seemed inappropriate, but I kept listening. When I look at him, she continued, when I think about him, he grows and moves. It's like he's growing for me. So he's growing bigger now, I asked. Yes, she said, bigger every day. This begins the actual growing part of growing your grandpa. Beneath the doll's burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person, your grandpa. You are in charge of its cognitive development and diet until it is able to sustain itself. Currently, you are observing Grandpa. Please click the arrow back button below for a brief tutorial of your duties as caretaker. Here you can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa. Highlighted in red are objectives related to feeding and teaching Grandpa. Important messages regarding Grandpa's recent activity will also appear here. You will need to find it food and learning material before you can move on to the next week. Some foods will make Grandpa happy, others merely content. Some food will make Grandpa disgusted to the point of nausea. Learning material is also scattered throughout the basement. Seek out vocabulary cards intended to help teach English and basic anthropoidic concept formation. The options highlighted in red are related to navigating around Grandpa's enclosure. The Go to Grandpa option will let you perform all actions. Alright. Accessing the study corner will let you go over any documents. Okay. Kitchen, search for food, yeah, makes sense. Okay. Save game. You can only save one file at a time. Okay. And exit. Oh. I doubt we'll be exiting the game because I did look up this game only takes about roughly 2 hours to beat or so. So we're here until we're done. More buttons may or may not appear depending on your development of Grandpa, so watch out for them. File note, take care to explore the basement at your leisure. However, due to the entropic nature of clutter and trash, different weeks may allow you to find things you had not previously discovered. Good luck. All right, well, let's go ahead and save. All right, what do we have in here? All right, so we don't have any. All right. So let's go to the kitchen first and get Grandpa some food. Looks edible. Alright, we got some lettuce. That's good. What about in the lower fridge? And a banana. A brown banana. Oh, wonderful for making banana bread. Okay, so we can't cook it. We can't actually prepare any food right now. Anything actually in the cabinet? Alright, so we got a safe that we can't open yet. A bunch of clutter to get rid of. Swear to God, there's nothing after all of this. Hey! Before we begin, he had us all cover our faces completely. An earthenware pot was and on the inside, as we stole brief glances at it, we could see the interior was inlaid with mirrors. The gave it small pieces of dough, spoiled food, chicken feed, keeping it content. The keeper gestured towards the small bag where the food composted and told us to be careful not to feed it any meat. I asked if the rotting food was enough to sustain it, how it might get nutrients from any of this. The keeper regarded me seriously and said it did not matter what it was fed. The act of feeding it itself was what mattered. The act of feeding flesh is another act, however. He then gave me another series of grave warnings regarding not keeping any animal-derived foods near where I might be keeping it. Alright, so we don't want to feed it meat, apparently. Okay, we got some blueberries. Nice, nice. Anything good in the trash pile? If you give Grandpa Prime, he'll die. It looks like there's only 2 endings as far as I'm aware. Yo, he's just like me for real. Oh my god. Folder of radiographic images. Just making sure there's nothing else. Fucking hell, Philip. Fiberglass insulation. Yeah, we're gonna feed Grandpa some fiberglass insulation. Who doesn't love some fiberglass? Small paper doll. Okay. Bulbous growth. Something appears to be growing from the wall. You take a closer look. A pulsating sac. The slimy membrane that is its skin seems to contain. I don't like this. You gotta be able to get it open with a blade. Okay, that's nice. Corroded battery. Let's feed Grandpa corroded battery. Hell yeah. Hello. Hey, we needed one of these for him. Alright, so still can't explore that area. Let's get the... Didn't we get some radio shit?
Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Day 19 after dormancy. Anth vacuum broken, yes. Term at 21 days. Propagation 2, day 0 after dormancy. Term after 6 days. Term after 16. Term after 12. That's nice. So I need more education cards. We gotta teach Grandpa some shit. Some cashews. Grandpa might like some cashews. You guys like cashews? Think Grandpa would like some cashews? It was said to pass from one family of steeped people to another, but pressed on its ultimate origin. Somewhere to the south, coiled in a bowl covered in incantations, buried upside down by a graveyard, a common late iniquity, demon trap. The keeper, an elderly man in failing health, was ready to expound on about the dangers of the organism, but when I asked more pointed questions about the history of its acquisition, I was given curt responses that had a way of circling back to vague warnings. That looks like some more teaching cards down there. Maybe. Hey! We got one more drawer to check. You remove the tape down fabric to reveal the cabinet's wooden bottom. I say, I ain't done here. A note regarding cleanup procedures. To my colleagues, I don't mean to be overly severe in tone, but Dr. Hart's work is very important, and the material we are working with is potentially very dangerous. I will be handing out a copy of this note as a reminder to everyone. I am not trying to single out any particular person out. We all have misconceptions about the nature of this project from time to time. With that out of the way, here are some things to keep in mind. The act of growth must be thoroughly terminated via the correct procedures, at the very least 4 weeks after dormancy is interrupted. It doesn't matter what you've done or haven't done regarding tests or procedures, or how much the anthropoidic vacuum has been... Am I saying that word right? Anthropodic? Is it podic or poitic? With that I being there, I don't know. Vacuum has been disrupted. We are not ready to go beyond 4 weeks at this point. A step-by-step guide to termination has been posted by the enclosure wall. Please, 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 please do not place the educational posters over this posting. 2. Do not disrupt the anthropoidic vacuum without Dr. Hart's prior consultation and approval. In case of an emergency where the vacuum is disrupted, put on your equipment and begin the lockdown procedure. Make an extensive note of when and how the breach occurred. 3. If you find the habitat empty, page Dr. Hart immediately, but do not attempt to speak with anyone else. This thing can get very smart. I'm sure you're well aware from the stories we heard on our acquisition trip. The greatest caution should be used when dealing with a potential aggressive mimicry scenario. Please seek me out if you have any more questions. William. So this thing basically just the thing? I'll be right back, people. Alright, people, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to take care of some bull crap, but we're back. Kids can never just go to sleep. Always gotta cause problems one way or another. Alright, notation regarding sample exoskeletons. Research participants, please take note. Each growth from a cycle does not require a shell, but you may find the sample will often try and seize on something somewhat flexible it can grow into, along with any desirous yield it may generate. Got scared because, because my kids. Or else it will move from one shell to the next as it outgrows them. In the small amount of time I have spent with it in preparation, I have noticed it tends towards human forms. However, we should keep a tight lid on the anthropoidic seal in order to be cautious before we begin to experiment with exposing it to long-term anthropoid stimuli. Alright, let's go. Set of procedures regarding disposal internment. The researcher will seal off the enclosure bars, ensuring minimal gas leakage during the later fumigating process, and then retrieve the burn barrel and place it near the enclosure. Allow at least 48 hours of time where the current growth cycle experiences no human-related stimuli. Do not enter the enclosure area nor any part of the basement. Ideally, you will not be on the grounds at all. After 48 hours, 2 researchers will enter the basement wearing their assigned mirror mask, mirror apron, and powered air purifying respirator. The researcher will use the vent system to fumigate the enclosure area. Wait 30 minutes and then use the fan system to ventilate the enclosure. Keep the fans running during steps 3 through 4. Re-enter the enclosure area wearing your assigned mirror masks and aprons. The organism may or may not be in complete dormancy. If it is not in full dormancy, be assured that its capacity to act against you will be greatly diminished. With your assigned powered drills, quickly remove any enclosure bars needed to access the organism. Put them aside for later reinstallation. Put the organism into the burn barrel. Incinerate the organism thoroughly. Wait for any smoke to be properly cleared by the fan system. Turn off the fans. One researcher will retrieve the nucleus from the ash and place it in the mirror box. The other researcher will sift through the ash and place any other substantial remains in the biohazard bin in the room outside of the enclosure area. The bin is locked for safety purposes. The code is 323245. I'm going to need that eventually, I imagine. The researcher will fill out a termination form and leave it for Dr. Hart. I'm probably going to need that code eventually. Alright, Grandpa! Let's teach! Yeah, let's learn how to do this right. This brief tutorial will... Yeah. The vocabulary word you picked will appear on the top left corner. In the bottom right corner will be a pentagon that is divided up into 8 oh my god, I can't speak tonight. 8 sections. A section of the pentagon will be highlighted briefly. A notification sound will play, and soon another section will be highlighted. You will control a small round icon that sits above the pentagon by using your mouse. The ball is the ball is constrained to the limits of the pentagon. The goal is to keep your icon over the highlighted area and move it as the area changes sections around the pentagon. When you hold left click above the correct highlighted area, the icon will start to vibrate along with the simulated vocal cords, and the current letter of your word will begin to turn red. Keep holding over the highlighted section and adjust your icon as it changes place. Soon the letter will become fully red. After every letter becomes red, Grandpa will proudly pronounce the word to you, and it will be considered learned. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I love this so much. Teaching Grandpa these words will accelerate its cognitive development and lead to further breakthroughs in general intelligence. Yeah, let's teach it hello. You approach the small one. Deep within Grandpa, strange membranes phony. I don't like this anymore. Having completed the lesson, you take a look at the back of the vocabulary module card, and the notes are written by administrators of the past. General pronunciation comments, sloppy articulation, module comments, see below. We are already encountering some difficulty as Whisker's subjectivity is so much determined by a diverse and dynamic array of influences. It attempts to mimic the thoughts and desires it passively intercepts, and these imitations go on to structure the basis of its identity. Only later in Whisker's growth cycle does it begin to form an identity or identities that are coherent and capable of resembling a sane, rational human being when engaged in conversation. One must imagine how hard it would be to converse with someone who is not yet oriented in one particular way towards who or how they are, because they might have 20 different honest answers to those questions, all of them mixed and muddled together. Because of this, we have started with the basics of conversation: greetings, partings, identifying one another, forming questions, etc. It is fortunate Whisker's current growth, 19 I believe, has developed a mostly accurate human mouth simulation. Hello was a bit of a challenge in the previous growth, as it had failed to develop an adequate organ to act as a human tongue. You step away from the bars and store the module card. Let's teach him again! Alright, Grandpa, time to learn to say your name. Not bad. Thin, raspy, possibly underdeveloped larynx. We have done several sessions of what we are calling familial relation simulation. I and co-researchers sit in chairs opposite the enclosure. We are wearing the usual masks, and we begin to act out a scene, mostly through improvisation that might roughly resemble a kitchen table conversation between an immediate family. Repeated trials would reveal, although our simulated conversation was purposefully vague and unspecific regarding persons and identities, we would only address each other as brother, father, sister, etc., etc. It soon became apparent the encoded information and associations we had unconsciously drawn upon when hearing and speaking these words were being picked up on by Whiskers and its psi-type field of reception interpretation of brain, mind, events, semantic content. My co-researcher William noticed this is a simulation where Whiskers was given a role as a sister and he as a brother. I was the father. Whiskers began responding to certain prompts with unusual specificity, as well as a general pattern and timbre of speech that continued with unusual consistency. As soon as the simulation ended and we left the enclosure area, William let me know that Whiskers was almost certainly drawing from encoded memories of his late sister. Mapping out exactly what regions and centers of neural activity are intercepted by the psi-type field will take extensive neuroimaging that we do not have at this site. Currently, we only have less precise portable equipment. However, our experiences so far are eerily in line with folk knowledge and folk explanations regarding the being's access to desires, and we can begin to infer it has access to certain portions of the limbic system and ventral temporal cortex. All right, let's feed Grandpa. Yeah, let's learn how to feed him. First, you will need to select an item from the lunchbox. Click on the lunchbox in the bottom right corner. Yep. Doing so will fill your hand with this item. Note that any food can be put into the lunchbox by clicking on the lunchbox with a full hand. Before Grandpa can be fed, it must judge the food by smell. However, your hand above Grandpa's olfactory bulbs. Hover. If Grandpa is pleased, it will allow you to feed it. Most foods Grandpa will accept. However, getting Grandpa to consume other things requires some culinary deception. When Grandpa is willing to be fed, hover your hand over its mouth and click. Grandpa will then consume the food. Good luck on feeding Grandpa! Oh, fuck me. Hi, Grandpa. Okay, so, oh God. Okay, so let's get the food in our hand. We'll do banana again. Grandpa seems indifferent to the smell. Okay, he ate the banana. He ate the banana. Let's feed it some cashews. He's indifferent, but he'll take them. Alright, he's been fed. Grandpa grunts in appreciation and locomotes towards its favorite corner. Alright, we gave it 2 digestible food. Yay! I see. Well, that's the end of that week. Yeah, we'll end that. Oh, I should have tried to communicate with them. Oh, well. Got a lot of documents. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to new conversation topics. We gained language. I should have talked to him, but I forgot to. It's okay, we'll communicate with him this time. Mrs. Richardson's approached me the other day in order to remark on Adrian's development. She noted how much more at ease she appeared when called upon in class or when asked to participate in group exercises. I told her I had seen this change happening as well, and that as much as I would like to take credit for it, I can only guess dimly at what might be reshaping her attitude. Mrs. Richards posited, dear God, that it was perhaps Adrian's family moving into their grandfather's property that caused the change. It apparently is out in the country in a wooded area, full of wide open space and far from the bustle and noise of the city. Dear God, what the fuck is happening? Keep clicking out of the window by accident. The grandfather, Dr. Jacob Hart, had jointly purchased the land with the university he was employed with and began constructing what he was intending to be a satellite campus for a burgeoning psychological anthropology program he had a hand in establishing. Only one building ever ended up being constructed after Dr. Hart died in a car accident when driving back from the property one day. Eerily, at almost the same exact time, a grad student who was assisting Dr. Hart on some sort of project at the property vanished without a trace. The property sat in disuse for years, as it was tied up in legal battles between Dr. Hart's next of kin, the university, the vanished grad student's family, and the other students Dr. Hart was working with. Eventually, the case was settled out of court. Only recently did the property fall into the possession of Adrian's mother. Obviously, I was not going to relay this whole tragic story to Adrian, who, for all I know, believes her grandpa's to still be living in the basement of his home. Besides, I thought she might already know all of this. Perhaps the elaborate story she was constructing was her own way of escaping the morbid details of a life, or perhaps lives, cut short by the cruel force of fate and the cynical adults who squabbled in the aftermath. I determined perhaps the story she was telling. Dear God, I determined perhaps the storytelling she was and continues to engage in should not be encouraged by me, at least not in the way I went about it before, where I made active inquiries into her strange fantasy of a semi-sentient ball of skin. When I saw Adrian, I did not bring up her grandpa or ask questions about his growth. Adrian could not stop talking about it, however. I had no choice but to weather her bizarre and enthusiastic effusions about her new best friend. Adrian, maybe we can talk about something else. I'm not sure I'm following you exactly. He's gotten so big. He has so many whiskers coming out, and I can see him moving around when I think about him. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm so happy Grandpa's back. He's so much cooler than Mom and Dad. Once again, from what it's worth, I have put down the story she told me as best as I could. Adrian once again told me about growing her grandpa. Oh, fuck. We found a kiwi. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take more and more food to feed him. I am not leaving until the entire area is cleaned. Where does this trash keep coming from is the big question. I'm overthinking things. Alright, nothing there. What about the bottom drawer? Oh yeah, the safe. Nothing I can do with that just yet.
How's it going, dude? Staying away from the alcohol?
We are cleaning up before we go visit Grandpa. We found a potato and a linguistics module. Let's go. We're gonna teach this thing about life and love. Do you believe in life after love? Oh, another growth? That's nice. There's 2 growths. Thought that was my belly. God dang it, Lotus. And by the way, again, if I don't respond, it's because Twitch is being very dumb. I have to keep refreshing the page to get chat to pop back up. I don't know what's going on. Like, it's really bad today. Alright, we found a pear. We like pears. And a strawberry. Okay, we got some food for Grandpa. Let's go. Let's mix some fiberglass and a potato. There we go. Insulation is concealed in the soft potato flesh. What the fuck? Yeah, let's do a battery and a pear. Oh my god. What the fuck is this damn game? note in there. Now we gotta check these every single time. Alright, well, let's drop a save, and let's go to Grandpa. Oh, dear God. You examine Grandpa, noting its movement, respiration, and general mood. Grandpa's gums are bleeding slightly, and its skin seems overly dry. It may need a food packed with vitamin C. A kiwi fruit would be an excellent remedy. Bet! I think I have a kiwi, Grandpa. I do have a kiwi. There you go. How about you want some insulation? There you go. Meal seems to be causing some indigestion. And with a sudden urge, Grandpa. Oh no, Grandpa! Oh, okay. I guess I shouldn't have fed him that. Alright, well, I still gotta feed him a couple of other things then. So he did not like the fiberglass. Alright, what about blueberries? Want some blueberries? There you go, Grandpa. And how about a strawberry? You want a strawberry? Here you go, buddy. Grandpa grunts in appreciation and locomotive. Yeah, there you go, buddy. All right, we fed Grandpa. All right, now we're gonna. Oh wait, examine stomach contents. Oh. Oh. Hold on. I'll be back, Grandpa. Hey! Photo of your mother as a young woman. The recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. At all? Really, that was it? Well, okay then. I mean, it was something. We'll save that next, the other thing for, because we got another thing of concealed. We'll save that for another day. I don't know how often we can feed him shit to make him throw stuff up. I don't know. But let's teach him some more words. Let's teach him about life. Grandpa, do you believe in life after love? Life. At week 3 of growth, number 24, Whiskers appeared to recall some information from a previous growth cycle. We cannot be sure that this was really the case. For all we know, what we interpreted as it recollecting this information was really it drawing oh my god, I cannot read. Semantic content from one of our recollections of it and redeploying it without rationality or contextualization. For the sake of our safety and for the sake of scientific inquiry, we are attempting to draw out from Whiskers whether it somehow retains knowledge from previous cycles and its morphylactic nucleus. We did not think it was possible for the nucleus, though complex and incredible in its regenerative abilities, was capable of this, and that the nerve network that grew from it made up the base of Whisker's mind. And so we are now attempting to ask Whiskers, as best we can, if it has ever died, or what it might remember if it did. That's nice. That's nice. Let's teach it another word.
I think someone has daddy issues.
I do not have daddy issues. I am but a single fucking boy.
God damn, Brad. I recognize Maxwell's voice anywhere. Indecision. Articulation problems, possible trouble with diphthongs. Diphthongs. Anyway, we are introducing the latest growth of Whiskers to more subtle social cues and testing its ability to judge mental states of participants in conversation. I just did the boss fight for that line in the video. It's absolute hell. What is that? Is that from Devil May Cry or I don't remember. Is that Devil May Cry or Ultra Kill? Okay, Ultra Kill. Okay. I haven't watched the Ultra Kill one. I need to. The semantic content that flows to Whiskers via its psi field is still becoming muddled and slipped without distinction into conversation, although our intention of instilling it in a solid theory of mind will perhaps make it begin to understand that we do not know what it knows, or know that we are, without our control, sending to it. My grandfather grounded me machine. He won't read me Bible stories anymore. One would think a theory of mind seems to develop as part of its maturation process. In order to hunt sapient beings, it must be able to deceive them. In order to deceive, it must be able to make certain metacognitive judgments. For example, if their deception appears to be working, or how one ought to be deceived. We may never see it develop a theory of mind anytime soon, as Dr. Hart has disallowed a cycle of Whiskers growth to live into the beginnings of maturity. Yeah, I think we're about to see this shit happen real soon. Well, Grandpa, let's talk to you again. Peter's content and ready. Okay, let's communicate, Grandpa. Grandpa accedes to your request. It approaches the bars and begins to unknit its skin. The inner Grandpa, though still not fully formed, is revealed. It may be fruitful to speak with it if it can respond.
Well, if it isn't Sussy Jack.
Oh, I don't like this. Grandpa still struggles somewhat to speak due to its underdeveloped tongue, mouth, and jaw.
All right then, buddy. I'm going to shit yourself.
Due to its underdeveloped tongue, mouth, and jaw, however, it manages to rasp out an answer. Oh, shit, I keep doing that. Hunger is not enough. On the walls of the cave, the auric can be hunger transformed. Desire is fulfilled by pain. Your grandpa doesn't have the right words. Right now, I can only say I love you. Love is not enough, though. Desire is not enough. Project it outwards. Make it true to yourself. If only in symbol, then it will be enough for me and for you. What about your shell? Something to grow in. My skin is not the dull skin. My skin is not like your skin either. I can still feel your eyes on me inside my shell. I have many eyes to see, but I don't need them as much as I need your eyes with which I can understand as seeing me. There is a cycle of attention. You give me myself, but I am still not that. Slowly I form a human shape, and you see me more as human, and I become that. What about the biohazard men? They kept putting me in a box, sleeping and then set a light, and then in a box in the corner, in the darkness. Most of you couldn't read then. The scribe came and wrote what everyone said. They wrote on strips of bark within thin reeds. No, it was not that. It was a paper posted somewhere. It had words to open the box. I was half dead in the box. The part of me that dies was put there for a long time. That part of me, and other things they threw in. A refuse pile. Papers they discarded. Grandpa is old. My lives were easier before I made myself to speak, and before you made clothes to wear and rules to obey. Your grandpa remembers. I have learned much in many lives and deaths. Keep speaking with me. I love talking with you and learning from you, and it helps your grandpa so much. Soon I will be everything you would like me to be. Goodbye! What the fuck am I playing? Week 4. The time I have to spend compiling an evaluation on Adrian is almost up, and I still can't say what to make of her changes in mood. It is, of course, the case that children of Adrian's age are nowhere near finished learning and growing. I may have to simply be happy that Adrian was able to improve her attitude. No, I can view chat, Lotus. It just, sometimes it goes out, so I gotta refresh my page. And, yeah, it's something, Brad. I don't know what I've gotten myself into, but we're here. However, something in the odd and occasionally grotesque stories she continues to bring up to me still strike me as meaningfully. What the fuck, Lotus? How's your week been, Adrian?
Grandpa's almost ready. He's almost finished. Well, sort of.
Ah.
He's almost as big as his shell now. He has a face and he can talk pretty well. And almost has legs.
I see. As before, I've put down the story she told me as best as I could. Once again, Adrian told me about growing her grandpa. Okay, so it hasn't gotten any bigger.
Face down with another man beating your ass. Is it Wednesday already?
Bar of soap, nice. I'm sure Grandpa would love to eat a bar of soap. And yes, that is still one of my favorite lines from TFS. It's just so bad, but so good. Oh, there's another bulbous growth. Alright, nothing there. In the trash can. Oh, there's a note card. We're gonna need that. Meaning. What is the meaning of life, Grandpa? I don't think Grandpa can tell me the meaning of life because he doesn't know. Well, what are you saying? He's lived for a while. Alright, some flatbread. Flatbread's always nice. Just making sure I'm not, like, missing anything on that. Symbol. A mushroom, okay. Okay, let's go to the kitchen corner first, search for some more food. Found a jackfruit. Okay, jackfruit's nice. Or jackfruit tastes like Laffy Taffy. Okay, well, I got an achievement for collecting all the food. Let's go feed Grandpa real quick. Hey, Grandpa, I want you to eat this concealed soup. I want to see if you puke it up again. Oh, he puked it up. Makes a plaintive whine, clearly disappointed in the lack of sustenance. Okay, we got some scissors. Alright, so now we can destroy some of these bulbs. An oily cavity, a powerful smell of rot arises, and many small increate beings lay motionless and dead. However, you just barely hear the near silent slithering of something, or maybe it's just your imagination. What the fuck? Oh, one of its remnants. Self-sufficient animal form knit together from many years of ambient thoughts left to crawl around the basement. Grandpa may enjoy the flesh, but they told me not to feed it flesh. Little friends. Oh! Obviously, we're gonna feed it flesh. Like, how can we not feed it flesh? There it is. Let's go see what happens if we make Grandpa throw up again. Shop a save. Oh god, he's actually like sitting in a chair. Grandpa, here's a concealed battery. God bless America. Hey! Okay, so I guess I could have fed it earlier, but it's all good. Now we have a battery. Or a flashlight. A classic of alchemy. Okay, I'm not reading all this. We need the code. We need the code. We need the code. Look over documents. Which one was it? Was it the hastily written note? No. Orientation. I think it was the orientation note. Oh, whoops. No, it wasn't that one. Which note was it? God dang, am I really gonna have to go through all of these? It wasn't on any of these vocabulary cards, was it? No, I don't think it would have been on any of those. Termination procedure, that's what it is. 323-245, 323-245, 323-245. I done forgot it already. Three, two, three, 245. 323 245. 323 245. 323 245. 323 245. Hey! The lid unlocks, and with some effort, you move the hefty lid off the bin. A photo of your father as a young man. Recognition of this face kicks off a cascade of emotion and meaning deep within your psyche. Alright, let's go give Grandpa some actual food now. Grandpa, you ready to eat? I got some actual food for you. Alright, chat, do I feed it the flesh? They said don't feed it flesh, but I kind of want to feed it flesh. That is one yes. Alright, we're gonna feed it flesh. Oh, he's excited for it. The mirror. Alright. The offering of flesh stirs something within Grandpa. From within the folds of its bodies, a wiry, proboscis-like appendage begins to emerge. It may be worth taking a look after this. Maybe worth taking a look at this after the feeding. Let's see what it looks like now. Oh. Let's feed it some more flesh. Oh, okay, no, he's good with flesh for now. Is that what it said? He's good with flesh? Okay, so he said he's good for now. Alright. Let's teach Grandpa. We further delve into abstraction with Whiskers, partially or perhaps for the most part for the purpose of determining the origin of its recollections that precede its death. Dr. Hart has begun to theorize that in the process of death, the structure of Whiskers is compressed back into the morpholactic nucleus, and then later, upon reestablishing the nerve netting that is laced through its spine, it's slowly reassembled and redeployed as needed. I do not think this is the case, for I can plainly see that for growth cycles in which Whiskers is not receiving our pronunciation and vocabulary lessons, that its capacity general for comprehending its environment is greatly diminished, and in the simulated conversations we carry out, Whiskers struggles greatly or does not participate. In any case, we will press on with our lessons and heed Dr. Hart's caution regarding terminating the growth cycle before Whiskers' allotted growth time passes, or if it appears to be becoming just a little too competent at appearing human. You all are playing God right now with this thing. He motioned to Grandpa to approach and point to the thin protuberance. Grandpa silently ambles closer to the bars and fully extends it towards you. A minuscule needle extends from its tip. There appears to be one more thing you must give, if only for the sake of propriety. Collected every document. Alright, so I don't think I have what it needs. Offer mom mother doll. Alright, let's teach it another word. There appears to be nothing written on the back of here. If there was, it was thoroughly erased. Okay, so he just straight up will not eat it. Okay. A jackfruit. There you go. Now, do you want some more meat? No. What about a mushroom? Yeah, he didn't seem to like that. How about some flatbread? There we go. That's some flatbread. Alright. And one more thing. Let's attempt to communicate. Oh. Hi, Grandpa. Grandpa loudly clears its throat before gently responding in a lucid, well-projected voice. Ah, you're asking me about your wish. When you wished for me to come back, that's when I knew I would. Your desperation was strong, and your wish for your parents, well, if you would give me what I want, I'll give you what you want. You know I love you. I am for you whatever you want, and I love you just as much as you love me. But desperation and love is not enough. People deep down know that they cannot get what they want, what they wish for, without some transformation. It's Grandpa, Lotus! There is something that sits at the root of everyone's soul that understands the separation between them and eternity. You may desire something, but you know you will not get it without some movement on your part. So it is not enough to just wish what you know will not work. You must wish and a little more to transform your intention into something that might fructify? Okay. Or for desire to become reality. What about your shell, Grandpa? Oh, you're asking me about my shell. Oh, well, you see, I like to have something to grow in. Something shaped like a person. It just helps to have something surrounding me when I don't have skin. My whiskers do the growing. My whiskers, yes, you know, the hairy little things. I am a part of it, and it is a part of me. However, my whiskers are what heard you wishing for me to come back. And so they went to work in the shell you provided. The shell also helps you envision me as what you desire. You have such a nice imagination. If I weren't in my shell, you'd have my whiskers exposed and knitting together my face. That might interrupt the feedback loop of my reading your desires. And then acting upon desires I have read, and then, once again, reading your reaction. We wouldn't want that interfered with. The material of the doll you put down is a good fit. It's not the most comfortable, but it's quite flexible, and thankfully my shell was able to adjust nicely to my growth. Biohazard bin. Ah, you're asking about the medical waste bin. I believe it's locked up. I heard them punch it in the code many times as they placed a part of burnt up dying self into the bin. They often forgot what the code was and had to go check on the wall, where they were always taping up sheets upon sheets of information. So much so that the new papers would cover the old. What do you think you would find in there? Well, perhaps something they did throw trash inside from time to time, bits of paper and so forth. I remember seeing a man who looked quite like me. His daughter had given him a photo of her new boyfriend. He threw it in the bin in disgust and joked with one of his colleagues. It may still be in there for all I know. Ah, you're asking about language. Well, the more you taught me, the more I was able to learn myself by hearing what you are thinking and saying. A week ago, I could speak a little bit, but I was less of what you imagined me to be, and not quite the talker I am at the moment. Part of what I am saying is, of course, made up of what you expect me to say. I think I am very comfortable being open and honest with you because I am your grandpa, and I love you, and certainly that makes up part of what I am. However, there is a part of me deeper down, the thing that created me maybe, that underlying nucleus. It is answering for me as well, and is unaffected by whoever might shape what I become with their thoughts. Little friends? Ah, you're asking about my little friends. Well, yes, they come from me. They grow around me in pockets of flesh and protoplasm. Think of them like dreams. Maybe I'll explain. Have you ever had a dream that was sort of like a bunch of people, places, and events you experienced, all mixed together and jumbled up? It's a sorting through and disposing of the refuse of the mind. My little friends are like that, refuse, and in ridding myself of them, I am casting off the excess material I did not use in developing life forms. Anyone who comes close to me, well, they are my eyes, my nose, my skin. Their thoughts become mine and shape what I make. However, when I was alone for so long, I didn't have a lot of people near me. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? And so, because I did not have enough input from my surroundings in order to put the material to use, the material falls out of my body, crawls away, and usually dies. I am able to make the most of my material when someone is looking right at me, projecting who I will be, like you are now. What you are thinking and expecting of me is shaping what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. Do you understand? Unfortunately, I do, and dear God. Oh, you're asking me about my proboscis? It is just a little tube I keep to help me feed on blood. You could say it is my real mouth, but it's not really a mouth. It appeared because you fed me flesh. One of those little friends you found, I think. You feeding me flesh was a symbol, a proposition, if you will, that you wanted to hold up your end of the bargain with regards to your wish. If someone is willing to hold up their end of the bargain and let me feed on them with my proboscis, then they can... Fuck off, Cece! Then they can move on to the next step of the agreement, providing me symbolic instructions. I hope that clears things up. Oh, you have another question? Do I like the blood? Well, my whiskers, I believe they like the blood and the flesh. It's strange. They are me, and yet they are now me. I am bound to them. They control me, and technically, yes, they did make me. However, you were the one who really grew me. In some ways, those whiskers, they are me, or a part of myself, or I am a part of it. That part is much more animal-like. Whatever might happen, know that I will always love you, and because it controls me, I might not be able to act how I would like, even if I do love you. Goodbye, Grandpa! How do I give it my blood? Hey, Luke actually made a freaking Twitch! Or actually got his Twitch back. Luke, what the fuck am I playing? I feel like I need to replay this now because I know how to do things properly. I know there's more than one ending. I don't know how many weeks there are, but we're gonna find out. Because I don't... Are you enjoying Grandpa Simulator 2022? Also, everybody, it is Luke's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. Alright, well, we're gonna end the week. Yeah, I feel like I could, like, do a speed run of this now. Yeah, it wouldn't let me let him look at them for some reason. Like I said, I think there's a certain order you gotta do things in. I don't know. I'm just gonna get through this. I'm a good ways in. Who could that be? Come in. Ah, Adrian. Good to see you. Aren't you a little early? No matter, I suppose. I have some time now. How have you been? How is your grandpa doing?
That's why I wanted to talk to you. Something happened.
Oh? What happened? Nothing bad, I hope.
No, nothing bad, just different. I think maybe even good. Well, I'll tell you about it. Well, last night, something woke me up. There was this noise at first. It was like it came from the walls. I could hear it from my bedroom, but there was something else. Something calling. I could hear it, just barely. I was afraid somehow Grandpa hurt himself. I had to go find out. I went downstairs, and the vent, the place where I first found Grandpa, or what I grew him with, it was open. Do you remember how I told you about the vent in the ceiling, behind the bars? I was thinking he had climbed up into it. He had gotten so big, he could have done that. Maybe he had gotten trapped somehow in the vent. I had to go see.
Oh, darling, no.
I got inside. I heard the calling again, more clearly this time. Grandpa was definitely in the vent somewhere. I could feel him hearing my thoughts. I got that weird feeling, a sense in the air. I had to go forward.
Oh, no, no.
As I moved in closer, the vent had stuff in it. The kind of slimy, hairy stuff Grandpa would leave around a lot. He was definitely close. Something was there at the end. But it wasn't Grandpa. It looked maybe like he had made it through. It was slumped in the corner. It had a weird mouth and it had its lungs on the outside and drew in just enough air to call out. And then it just stopped. Stopped breathing. And then something was hanging over me. And then I woke up in my bed.
In your bed? Adrian, sounds like it was quite a dreadful dream. Are you alright, by the way? Your face is twitching like you're about to have a violent sneeze.
I'm fine. It's just Grandpa, you see. It took me a little while to figure out, but later when I was brushing my teeth, I saw one of Grandpa's whiskers poking just out of the space under my eye. And I started to remember how in the vent he hid inside of me. It was so fast, I could barely remember, but soon I started to feel him sliding around in my head, behind my forehead, and behind my eyes and nose. It doesn't hurt at all, it's just ticklish. I'm glad I can be be with him. Oh, I can feel him now. I think he wants to meet you. Part of him is moving down my arm. Oh. I'm starting to get worried, Adrian. You really should not be twitching like this. I should walk you to the nurse's office. Come on, let's go. You should really meet him. I've told you so much about him. Here. What are you doing? Adrian, you're starting to look very ill. Please, just wait. Just stay still. He's gathering, waiting at my fingertips. Why do you look like that? You don't have to be afraid. Look. I got the failure of fulfillment ending. Damn it! Oh yeah. No. We're redoing this shit. We're redoing this shit. No. We can speedrun this real quick. Okay, so I did things out of order. I know what I gotta do now. Well, I didn't do things I guess I kind of did things out of order. Y'all, anyway, we're just gonna speedrun this shit. Yada 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 yada. Yep. Yada yada yada. I gotta see what the actual ending's supposed to be. And it's gonna bother me if I don't clean up all the trash, so obviously we're going to. Even if I don't actually need to, I'm still gonna have to do it. Look, I don't own it. Some person... Wait, oh, hold on. Dear God. The loading messed it up. Not you mad at the ending and wanting to redo it all. As I submit my 23andMe to the random online indie game, I don't know if this game actually is. I just think it's a funny bit like the hentai games that's actually for filing taxes. Look, I don't own it. Some person got that shit on Steam, though. What game is it? Expecting you to remember the name, the game name. All right, we're gonna speed run this shit. All right, let's go see Grandpa first. Yada yada yada. Hi, Grandpa. Wakey wakey. We're gonna fulfill you right this time, motherfucker.
here? God, I wish I could stop clicking out of the window. That'd be nice. So we need to try to get him to throw stuff up as soon as possible. We got that. Grab the tape! Yeah, yeah. Alright, I think we're all good there. Now we'll check the kitchen corner. Lettuce, okay. Brown banana. Alright, let's look around real quick. See, I already read through everything, so now I don't gotta sit there and read it all, which slowed me down big time last time. Now it's just speed running, throwing all the garbage away. Hey! Thank you for the gift sub, Brad! You are a beautiful soul, and thank you for giving it to Lotus. Good, the PTSD on the gift sub sound is worn off. To be fair, I didn't hear it go off. I didn't even get the notification for it. That's lame. Lotus, I wanted PTSD. Dude, OBS is a hot fucking mess, alright? I don't know why. I will say, the one thing that I missed from Windows is Streamlabs. Everything worked a lot better with Streamlabs than OBS. We got the battery, okay. Okay, let's go prepare some food. Actually, let's see what Grandpa is hungry for first. Sluggish and bored. Okay. So he doesn't really care too much about food today. So... Oh, I can only give him some fiberglass today? Damn. Alright, that should be fine. Let's just feed him some fiberglass real quick. No, I don't need the tutorial. Who doesn't want a fiberglass banana? And some lettuce. Alright. Now we got the key, which I believe gives us the picture that we need. Okay. Now we can go back to the glue and glue that together. Save our game. Does not. Okay, doesn't appear to be interested in that right now. Alright, let's. Oh crap! I didn't mean to do the tutorial. Okay, here we go. All right. Yada, 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 yada. All right, let's teach him again. All right. Speed run this growth. So this is one thing I did not do the very first time, was try to speak with him. What the fuck? Mother, will father, new lives out of the air. The dark spiny filaments that make up the majority of Grandpa's body begin to oscillate rapidly. The air behind your eyes, I can taste it. What the fuck? Skin, my body, all human skin around me. Give more, grow more to fit. Fails to produce more than a wet, frustrated, sputtering noise. Goodbye. What if I try to feed... I don't think I can feed it the battery right off the bat. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Had to at least try. Had to at least try. Okay, so he just does not want the mother doll right off the bat. For some... Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We'll move on. I think I've done pretty much everything I can in the basement for now, because I need more food. Obviously, I can't. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything right off the bat. But I think we're good to move on to the next week. All right, moving on. Week 3. No, I think I fucked up again already. We'll see. I didn't have any other things to give it, though, in order to be able to make it... I didn't have any other fruits. Pretty sure I explored every single place. I don't remember. I could always reload the save. I think I'll keep that save on week 2 just to be safe. I won't save it again. Just in case in case I did forget something, then we can just start back at week 2 and not have to go through the entire beginning again. Potato. I know what is probably the quote-unquote good ending is probably going to be more disturbing than the ending I got. But, fuck it! Making sure I got them all. All right, Grandpa. Let's go ahead and get you. Actually, no, we're not going to feed you completely yet. Now we got the scissors. Now we can grab this stuff that's inside. There you are, you little shit. Alright, I ain't cleaning up all this, but... is this one. That's because these squelchy noises are just, ugh. Okay. Feed it some meat. Hi, Figgle! We need to save the potato. Shove up other stuff in the potato. Alright, I don't think I have anything that I can give it right now. Yeah. Oh, I could grab it! I didn't grab it last time! I didn't realize I could grab it! Grandpa has appreciated your blood offering. It will receive a symbol or totem from you now, although only one per offering. As the blood-fed proboscis retracts back into the folds of fabric, you step away from the bars. Okay, I figured it out! You approach the bars and hold out the mother symbol you created. Grandpa's spines quickly reach out and envelop the doll before drawing back. The doll quickly vanishes within the folds of Grandpa's skin, constructing and then offering your mother's image to Grandpa, symbolically sated by blood, instills in you a concrete sense of completion. Grandpa gives a soft, affirming grunt as it senses deep within your mind the ritual transformation of your desire. Although Grandpa must receive both a mother and father totem before the fulfillment of your wish is assured. Alright, let's teach it some words. Alright, good there. So, Figgle, you missed out because we are just speed running through this portion. I've already played it through the first time I got a quote-unquote bad ending. So, we are just speed running through this to get to the good ending. There we go. Alright. And then attempt to communicate again just to be safe. I don't think we asked about biohazard bin last time. I don't remember. Okay, no, we did read that last time. I don't think we read about little friends last time, though, whenever he was in this state. The little ones, they grew like seeds off my skin, worms fell off my body, thoughts falling off of me, dreams put there by others. When I was under the ground, I made only very few. Shepherds walked through the grave, and I saw them lusting for their wives, and my skin made their loving faces. I called them out into the darkness with their loved voices. One by one, I took their shapes and their skin and blood. That was a time ago, before before stone buildings, before the orders of angels and words and symbols. I'm sorry, Grandpa is thinking, but there's a little left over from others too. I am still so hungry for flesh. Part of me is. I would even eat one of them that fell off of me. I can't help it. They grow off of me. They fall off and grow in the dark, grow around me. And then this part. Yes, that is a part like a tongue. I was lost in the mountains and so thirsty. I was walking up a hill and found a lamb and drank from it with my tongue, and I fell asleep for a long time. I woke up as a half-formed child. I had died before. My grieving mother had remade me. We had made a contract and she completed it. I do not remember more. Bye, Grandpa! Fuck. Okay, I think we did everything for today, so for this week, so we're gonna end the week. And then next time, I should be able to get the last bit that I need. I'm doing pretty good. Dear God, Christmas was hectic as hell, but you know, we got it done. Just, oh my God, dealing with people, man. Bar soap, there we go. But, you know, it went well. I hope everybody here had a good Christmas if you celebrate it. You got fun stuff. I didn't get too much because, I mean, I got, well, actually I did get some nice stuff. I got a backbone, like the backbone controller that I can use for like my phone and tablets and stuff. So that's really cool. I got a cool little puzzle lock as well as a stocking full of stuff and an $80 gift card. So I got some fun stuff. And then Luke got me RimWorld as well as a couple of, another game, and then the DLCs for RimWorld. So I will be trying out RimWorld sometime soon. And then Placebo got me Everhood 2, so I have that to play as well. I will never, ever get through my list of games. And then I bought myself some games because they were on sale. So yeah, I will never, ever, ever, ever get through my list. No, he got it. So, I am good and stocked on games for a while. I will be looking for people to play Pico Park 2 with, probably sometime in the next coming month or so. That's gonna be hell. By the way, Steam tells me you forgot to redeem. Yeah, no, it was being really dumb. It would not let me check again. Because whenever I was trying to redeem them on my phone, it was not letting me, like, it was being really weird with letting me redeem stuff. Let me try grabbing that real quick and see if it'll actually let me do it this time. Thank you for reminding me, because I meant to grab it, and like I said, it was being really weird. Okay, there we go. Yeah, for some reason on my phone, it was not letting me do it at all. Like I had to I kept like backing out, coming back in, and it was weird. Oh, I could have read these notes. Oh, I ain't reading all these. Yeah, Lotus Wormworld. That's right, I remember that shit. Yeah, from what I hear, Wormworld's a wonderful game. And Luke, I think Luke, that's the game that Luke has had the most amount of time in. Alright, gave it the father doll. Grandpa must receive both, yeah. No. Completed contract, hey! Okay, let's teach Grandpa real quick. Did I not get all the cards? Must not have. Let's look around real quick. I don't remember where any of the other cards would be. Yeah, we got all that one. Oh, I did not get everything out of it. Okay. There it is. It's temporarily banned in Australia? Alright, attempt to communicate real quick. I think I did it Little Friends last time. No, I didn't read this one. Okay. Completed contract. Thank you so much for completing the contract. I'll definitely help you out with your parents. Just give me a little time and I'll be ready to act. I think you'll be very happy. Your grandpa is very happy too. You did it all by yourself, you know. I couldn't have helped you if I tried. I would have really not have liked to, well, I did not want you to not complete the contract. I would have hated that. But do you understand why I would have But do you understand why I would have had to? Maybe you don't. So much of your lives are made up, and yet what comes to pass was always once a fiction. You doubt yourself and your plans before they are even begun. And you believe what is in front of you as if the essence of things are not something you put there long ago. Too much doubt can suffocate even the surest thing. Only with patience and growth and nurturing does something become what it will be, as you soon shall see. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's end the week. All right. I will meet with Adrian one final time in order to see if I could not reach some sort of resolution regarding her emotional trouble. In these past few weeks, according to the reports of her teachers and peers, she has shown a remarkable transformation in conduct. I would also like to add my own voice to this consensus. It seems as if our time together much has changed for the better. I am not suggesting our meetings were the sole source of her sea change. I think something has happened in her home life that has reoriented Adrian completely. She seems to suggest as much, at least in her usually esoteric way, when we last spoke. Something tells me something may have changed with Grandpa.
Yes, well, something did change.
I will write down her words verbatim here.
I went downstairs like I always did, but I sort of felt something was different. My parents weren't arguing, and I felt something had changed with Grandpa, too. There was a weird noise, but I wasn't afraid. I think Grandpa had to leave, but before he left, he made my parents nice. He reached inside and changed them. That was my wish. Maybe even what I was growing wasn't really my grandpa. Grandpa left what I was growing behind. He's gone now. He moved quickly out to I don't know where, but I'll always love him.
I dismissed Adrian soon after, letting her know it was a pleasure getting to know her. Despite my apprehensiveness about the speed of the turnaround she has made, I cannot see any reason why Adrian should be considered for further evaluation. And as a counselor for Adrian, let it be known that I believe she is of sound mental and emotional health. I am pleased to see things turn out this way, and if I may make a brief addendum, by happenstance, Mrs. Richardson bumped into the Hart family the other day while running an errand. She told me the parents were a little odd, but very pleasant, and quite clearly they adored their child, and that she had never seen Adrian happier. Oh my god. Luke, what the actual fuck? What the fuck did I just play? I got all the achievements! And now, kids, you know how to grow a grandpa of your own. Yeah, find some magical nucleic parasite that you make a contract with. And you too can grow your own grandpa. What the fuck? I have no words. None. Zip. Nada. That was one of the games of all time. So that was growing my grandpa. That was something. Cece, are you still there? I don't know if Cece's still there or not. I don't know if Dennis is gonna be on tomorrow, Spectertainment. If he is, then I will be joining him for Payday 2. If not, then, might do some Deep Rock Galactic, some of their winter shit. Oh, I didn't know what time he comes back. Alright, so yeah, then probably gonna do some Deep Rock Galactic tomorrow night. Tuesday will be some more Project Zomboid. Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I will be doing a watch party on here of the entirety of the real-time fan dub of Kingdom Hearts. So that is going to be a long watch because there are quite a few episodes of that. I don't remember exactly how many. We can find out real quick. Let's see here. There are 6 videos in that series. Okay. Oh. Hey, Luke is a 200th follower. Bro, I got a Dell Latitude with the 7th Gen i5. I am not. January 5th, I'll be back. Okay. What is... Okay. So this was like their breakdown of it, maybe? Yeah, okay, so this was their breakdown. This is gonna be a long fucking watch. I'm gonna warn you all right now. Each episode, well, yeah, this is gonna be a long watch. But yeah, we are going to be watching that Wednesday, because, I mean, it's New Year's Eve. What else are we gonna be doing? And then Thursday will probably be some more, Lies of P. Friday, I may or may not be on. My sister's having a get together for her birthday. I don't know how late that's gonna last. We'll see. And then Sunday, I might do Iron Lung. That was one of the things that I bought. I am gonna try to get through some of these games that I know I can get done in one stream. Gonna try to save those for Sunday nights. Dennis is staying here forever. So yeah, I will get through. Gonna play Iron Lung. I don't know how long that will take, but if that doesn't take too long, then I have other games that I haven't played yet. If I am on Friday, then I will probably do some Rataton, as there has been some updates, and I have not touched that since November 4th. And there was just a major update on the 24th. So, yeah. I do thank you all for watching. This has been Growing My Grandpa. Luke, you need therapy. I love you, brother. You need therapy because what the fuck was this game? But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all had a good time. Hope you all had a great holiday. And I shall catch you all next time. Peace out.